Greetings, Solar Creation. I'm Aurora, and Muhammad shot Aaron at USPS in his real form. So, in the pink hair and my stolen face, that's Muhammad Nasrallah. He's a terrorist. He printed my copies and then only added the middle name Marie because they sent DHS on me to kill me just so that they tell DHS to tell me do not ever go back to USPS, don't send files anymore, so they can send, if I get an upgrade, so that they can kill me. I said, no, that's not gonna work. So apparently Mohammed shot Iran in the middle of USPS. They came back, and I'm gonna try my best to try to address that situation. Plus, I have more information. It doesn't only end at the middle name. I have a lot of information that I still need to give USCIS. Now, I have another retributal concern here to address, which is regarding King Charles. King Charles has a case against Mia Sadji and Nick Sr. Because Mia Sadji, I think William or Harry. Harry hit on Mia Sadji. Took it to the palace, yada yada. They liked each other, blah blah blah. And then Mia discovered through analysis and through watching Muhammad Nasrallah there in the palace. Now, I ran away when I was a child. I'm not a prostitute, and I screamed and started going ah. That's why they detest me. That's why now the Americans are making fun of me, because I'm not a royal prostitute like Muhammad and Mayo, the people they like. Long story short, apparently, Mayo went and told Nick Sr. everything, that Prince William was going around London and recruiting all the IC people that ever met me, like whether they IC, Luz Wegman, Lycée, Athénée, like anywhere I went, my education, and then any person I had as a quote-unquote fake friend or whatnot, he went after them, and he had means, like he'd have them approached by, like, say, Cypher. He'd go talk to them in a certain way, bring them to the dungeon room, and then they would do like the velvet room and stuff like that he built to keep me there forever. But I never went, so he brings random fragments of my consciousness to project what he think would have been onto them, to see where that gets him with me. Now, that being said, when Mayo Asadi discovered, what did it do? It did a court case with Nick Sr. against Charles about how he is using me as bait to open a harem for William and Harry and himself, trafficking all the douche kids of the Arab world. There's a case about that now. They can't really proceed forward with the whole case because there's more pending topics about my dad and Charles and my mom and Charles and Diana and my dad and everything else, Fuad, my dad, Jesus. Next thing you know, or Lucifer. My dad's Lucifer, So, a long story short, they have many open portals for that case, and now they're attempting to position me somewhere on the grid and see, like, say, if they exterminate me, or whatever, they'll say that I commenced the case, that I was Mia in the castle, and that I actually am a prostitute that vanishes and eats shit and does OnlyFans and humiliates cops, so that they can get away with how they're humiliating a little pieces of Arab transgender people, Mohammed, and fucking idiots from IC, to get away with that, to pretend that, they were actually very nice royals that cared for the well-being of a few Arabs, but that's not the case. It was just a plan to get to me, and which is very romantic in its essence. I mean, of course. Rather, all I have to say, though, is, it's a very royal approach, like you would think, like in a hypothetical world, if a royal is interested in anything, of course they're gonna have to date everybody this person's ever met, put them in the castle, go through them, play games. So they used to have also these, like the Bianca whatever, write me letters in BHS, and then they used to write certain things, William and Harry, because they'd be with them, fucking with them, and then they only see me by night to go down on me. Then when they go down on me, say like he fucks Bianca. Bianca is, for instance, in the Spice Girls, she'd be like, say Mel B, or you never know who she might be, like she'd be like Emma or something. So they'd make a new song where Emma makes a lyric out of how they intercepted me at night and what came out of this. Like that's the whole story of their life. They use me as bait to make a whole world, but they don't pay me because they abuse me at night because I still scream Will, and I don't, it's William. I scream William. Somebody else is fake screaming Will to invent another story, but that's not E.T. It's only William. I scream William. Do I ever scream Will? Sometimes I say Will. Sometimes Will, sometimes William. Oh. That's recent. The Will is recent. Right. I'm trying to open all our possibilities, because if I don't say will I am, then maybe it'll open to the will of anyone, because, I need to help myself before it's too late. So I'm guessing that's the outcome. So at the court, they will drag me down for all Mia's actions in the palace and everyone else. Like Adon stole the watch, they'll say I did that. Dima Khoury shot Charles and Diana and William and Harry. I posted a video about that, but it was in reference to myself, which is not the case. And I didn't feel like writing that in the description and stuff, so I just deleted that, and I did another movie explaining that I didn't really need to have that out in public because people judge me anyways. I don't even know about it, but if I'm talking about what someone else did, that's not my business to talk about what someone else did. And for people to judge me on how I receive information sometimes, that's not funny either. I don't see why everybody on earth has to have respect and not myself. Long story short, that's the story about Charles and Nicholas and their court case for Mia, because they want to pretend that it was Cristal that was being abused the whole time, and then Charles going to make fake amends with Cristal, and it's not going to be me. So then in the end, Mia's going to be the hero, because then the families will all get together and I'll be dead. But now, lucky for everyone, this is not going to happen. I'm Aurora, Mother of New Creation, the anti